Welcome to the first of a brand new series I call Sprout's First Steps. I'm Eggchen, the Double Master. You probably can't tell, but it's because I'm disguised as one of you, a common peasant. My psychiatrist keeps telling me to try and put myself in other people's shoes, so I wanted to really give it my best shot. This series focuses on getting brand new, completely lost, probably dumb, and lazy players where they need to be, off the streets and making bank. This guide is designed specifically to take your crafting and gathering jobs from level 0 to level 20. This guide will focus purely on teaching you how to unlock crafters and gatherers, how to craft and gather, what the job abilities do and how to use them, and finally how to synthesize and gather through a number of demonstrations. I will mark chapters so you can quickly access the parts you need, although I do recommend watching it all the way through at least once. Very important, the Blacksmith is the first job I will be going through. I am more detailed when covering the Blacksmith and will explain the job traits and abilities as they come along. If for some reason you are tempted to skip the Blacksmith, I would warn you that you may miss an important part of the lesson. It is also highly recommended that you have a combat job to level 50 and have completed the ARR MSQ before starting this guide. This is simply just to help you with transportation due to the ability of flying and ensure you have enough gil. None of this information I'm giving you today is new or secret, I am just simply presenting it in a different way. I'm going to assume you fall under one of the categories I insulted earlier at the beginning of the video. Don't worry though, I will cover each and every little step so you cannot fail. Without further ado, let's get started. I first want to focus on why. It's important to understand why we are going to do some of the things we are about to do. Why will we level all crafters and all gatherers? The reason we level all of them is because they synergize together. Many pieces or subcomponents for the things you will want to make will be made by other crafting jobs. By leveling them together, they help each other. So in a way, each crafter you level is like adding someone to your team. We level gatherers to ensure self-sufficiency, as buying everything isn't always an option. Sometimes items are sold out, or sometimes items are too expensive. It can also bring in a good amount of gil by itself further down the road. I will put the locations here and mark them in the chapters for you. You can refer back to this point if you simply want a list of locations for unlocking crafters and gatherers. As an important side note, you can use EXP helmets or hats to make this all go a bit faster. You can also eat food and use FC buffs or use survival manuals. If you don't know what any of this stuff is, I cover them in another guide, which I'll put in the description below. Don't worry if you don't have any of these things, I will be leveling alongside you guys without the use of any of them. Just to help teach you guys, I have my alt character here, and all of his crafting and gathering jobs are level 0. Nothing is unlocked. Blacksmiths focus on making primarily weapons. Let's go step by step. First, go to Limsa Laminza. Access the Aethernet and teleport to the Aft Castle. From there, we will be heading to the Blacksmith's Guild located at 10 by 10.4. When arriving here, you'll notice there are 2 guild receptionists here. The Blacksmith is clearly marked by an anvil. Talk to Ranwolf, he will make you talk to him twice. All unlock quests, for some reason, want to make sure you are really dedicated. After accepting the quest, swing around and talk to the Guildmaster Brithael. He will give you a manhand weapon, which is a hammer, and some crystals. We now have access to the crafting log. The crafting log is accessed by pushing the N key, and it will show all available recipes. You can see that only the blacksmithing tab is not grayed out at this time. As we unlock the other jobs further down the road, the other icons will no longer be grayed out as well. By opening my character and my armory chest, I take the hammer and place it into my main weapon slot. This has now changed my job from Black Mage to Blacksmith. By hitting the recommend gear button above the weapon, I will equip the best gear available that I have for that job. Sadly, the gear I do have adds no stats, and I won't be doing this with any XP boosting gear. You can of course, and should if you have it, but I wanted to be able to demonstrate this for players who might not have access to anything. A useful tip is to make a gear set for this job now by clicking the gear set button and then clicking the plus sign. By doing so, I am creating a gear set for this job. I now drag this icon down so I can easily change to this job when needed. Now that I am a blacksmith, my boy Brithael has a level 1 job quest for me. Crafter and gatherers typically always have job quests for you to do starting at level 1 and every 5 levels after. Accept his quest, my first cross-peen hammer. This quest requires we give him a bronze ingot. In order to make one, we need 2 copper ore and 1 tin ore. Walk right around the corner here and you will find 2 guild suppliers. Between the 2 of these suppliers, you can level both blacksmith and armor to 20 and will never have to leave this area. Purchase 2 copper ore and 1 tin ore. We hit N to access the crafting log. One important note, sometimes you have to ensure you click the items under NQ for normal quality or HQ for high quality. In this case, we don't have any issues and we can proceed. We now click the synthesize button to begin. At level 1, we only have 1 ability. This makes things stupid proof as we literally only have 1 button we can push. which is basic synthesis. Just so you know, when it comes to the abilities, synthesis always refers to working towards the completion of an item, while in contrast, touch abilities always refer to working towards the quality of an item. We will be balancing between trying to make the highest possible quality while completing the item before it breaks. By hitting basic synthesis, you can see that the item's progression went up to 6 points out of 9. In this case, we can safely assume it'll go up another 6 points and the item will be complete, so just hit it again. Item complete, great job. The job quest has a green check mark as we have the required items. We just hand over the required items and collect our experience and reward. So we received a hempen kurta, a crafting shirt. You can see it has stats as well. As another side note, craftsmanship helps with synthesis or completion of items, while control helps with the quality of an item. Again, I use the recommended gear button and equip the shirt. Real quick, let us examine the efficiency calculations. This just displays exactly how many completion or quality points we will get based on current buffs, conditions, etc. From here, our next mission is to hit level 5. We will be doing so by completing items in our log. Whenever you complete an item for the first time in a crafting log, you will receive a large experience bonus. The bronze hatchet is the next item in the list, so I will go in order to keep things simple. Purchase the required ingredients. Another bronze ingot was needed to make that first. Again, I still only have one button, so I spam basic synthesis to complete the hatchet. Moving on to the bastard sword, I repeat the process. I managed to hit level 5 and now have a new ability, Basic Touch. You can see when using the ability, it raised the quality of the item. Whatever high quality percentage it ends up at, that's the number that will be taken and rolled to see if the item is high quality or not. Each action takes away 10 durability by default. Knowing that each basic synthesis is giving me 9 and 20 is needed to make the item, I will have to use basic synthesis 3 times to complete it. With that in mind, I am able to spare 3 basic touches. With a 91% chance for high quality, we made our first high quality item. Being over level 5 now, it's time to check back with Brithael, who has another job quest for us. It's so important to do these job quests as soon as possible because it's giving us much needed gear and crystals. Our new quest, Hammer Time, requires us to deliver 3 bronze cross-peen hammers to Brithael. So let's purchase enough to make 3 bronze hammers. In this example, I hit touch first because I know that my synthesis will complete the item in one move. So in this case, I can do 3 touches, then synthesis 1 time. For the first hammer, I know with 9 progress points per, I have to use 4 basic synthesis. So I use 3, spend 20 more durability for touch, and then finish the product with another basic synthesis. The next 2 hammers, I follow the same process. A new ability was gained at level 7 called Master's Mend. Master's Mend will restore 30 durability, or you can think of it as 3 more actions at the cost of 88 crafting points. This is a very useful ability since we really have nothing else to spend crafting points on at this level. Also important to know and understand is by making these bronze ingots to be high quality, they will give us a better chance at making high quality hammers. Also, the additional actions taken to complete the items result in more experience as well. If I were just to complete the ingots by hitting the simple basic synthesis, I would in fact complete them quicker, but I would make a quarter of the EXP. So as we go on, use your judgment as to when it's no longer worth it to craft your items to maximum quality. Completing the items, we now turn them in, and I picked what I felt was the most beneficial item as a reward. Again, I quickly put on my new items. Quick side note, I did notice I left my Moogle hat on by mistake for the first few levels here. Further in the video, I make sure to take it off for all the other jobs. Either way, it makes little difference, and you may have to only craft 1 or 2 additional items to even it out. As you can see, I am moving through the list. A good idea is to shop for multiple items at once so that you can spend less time going back and forth. Hitting level 9, I acquired 2 new abilities, Hasty Touch and Rapid Synthesis. We will not be using these as they are not necessary from levels 1 through 20, but I will still provide a brief explanation. Hasty Touch is the exact same as Basic Touch, except that it has a 60% chance success rate, meaning it can fail and you will lose durability with no quality increase. It also costs no CP, and in some cases this is extremely useful. Rapid Synthesis is the same as Basic Synthesis, except that it does 150% more progress towards completion but has a 50% success rate. Some more information, you could also work on harder items that will yield more XP, but there's no reason to stretch yourself that thin. These items are still easy to do and give great experience. At this point I hit level 10, so let's knock out the next job quest. This time he wants 12 bronze rivets. Head to the supplier and let's manually craft 12 of them, trying to maximize quality so that we maximize experience. Upon hitting 11, a trait is obtained called Inner Quiet. It just simply adds 10% bonus to how strong your touch abilities are each time you use it. For example, if you use a touch ability 5 times, you'll have a 50% bonus to the next move. This stat goes to a maximum of 10 and doesn't go away until you use Buyer God's Blessing, which we don't have until later on. After completing the items, I'm about level 11 and it's time to turn in, which for sure will push me over to level 12. As a reward, I select the item I need most, and we move on to working on the crafting log again. Always remember to put on the best gear for each level by hitting the recommended gear button. Many of the recipes require bronze ingots that are level 1 and perhaps may not be worth the time to manually craft. In this case, we'll utilize quick synthesis. Quick synthesis is usually always available for subcomponents of bigger items. It yields a lot less experience, but if you need vast numbers and it doesn't give much experience, then this is what we want to use. Trial synthesis is also available at level 13. All trial synthesis does is allow you to try to make an item without spending any components. This is handy if you want to experiment without losing anything. No experience and no items are awarded for successfully completing a trial synthesis. I wanted to cover the last of the abilities while still working on the Blacksmith. At level 13, we obtain Observe and Tricks of the Trade. Observe simply does nothing for one step. In regards to levels 1 through 20, this is only useful if we are hoping for a condition to change. Later on though, it is very useful when you combo it with certain abilities. Tricks of the Trade is great at any level. Tricks of the Trade allows you to restore 20 crafting points when the material condition is good or excellent. This is perfect for recouping crafting points. It becomes more and more useful as you level further. At level 15, we obtain Waste Not and Veneration. Waste Not is probably one of my favorite abilities. It reduces the durability loss by 50% for the next 4 steps. This ability is so powerful because it only costs 56 crafting points, and is generally used preemptively. I use this for almost every synthesis. Veneration is also very handy. It increases the efficiency of synthesis actions by 50% for the next 4 steps. This is used to help with the completion of your items, and the great part is this buff helps save durability because you can finish it in less actions. The last move I will cover in this guide is Standard Touch. Standard Touch increases quality by 125%. But the neat part about this is, just like your combat jobs, it's a combo. When you use Basic Touch right before it, it will reduce the CP cost to 18. So only use Standard Touch when you immediately did a Basic Touch right before it. Levels 15 through 17, I achieved by going back into the log and completing the items there. At this point, I also decided to quick synth about 25 ingots because I looked and already decided I was going to need a good amount. Do take note that I'm still completing stuff from the level 6 through 10 log. This guide is designed for first-time crafters. If you want, you can pick items that are higher level. But if you aren't 100% confident, complete the lower level items first. I hit level 18 still within the level 6 to 10 crafting log as you can see here. Level 19 and even level 20 were obtained from completing items in the 11 to 15 log. One important note, we are crafting high quality weapons as a blacksmith for other jobs. We can and should use these weapons for our other crafting jobs. The high quality weapons we crafted are the best you can get for their respective levels. This is part of the synergy that we spoke about earlier. Each job will help the others, and the blacksmith specializes in creating weapons for that. Let's move on to the next job. The armor focuses on making heavy plate armor and other items that would require heavy metals. For the slight chance you skipped over the blacksmith and went right here, we unlock the armor job right next to Blacksmith's Guild. Again, take the Aethernet to the Aft Castle and head to 10.2 by 15 and accept Weigher of the Armorer from Guanaco. You will have to speak to him twice and then you will walk right outside of the deck and speak to Hanaza. Hanaza will give you an armorer's weapon which you will equip and again create a job set and icon like before. I so happen to have an ingot left over from before when I was leveling Blacksmith, but if you don't, just purchase the materials from the guild supplier who are like 10 yalms away and create 1 bronze ingot and hand it into Hanaza. Knowing I will have to make a lot of bronze ingots, I went ahead and manually crafted a bunch of bronze ingots till I hit level 5. After hitting level 5, I speak to Hanaza again and I get my level 5 job quest, From Thigh to Neck.
Thigh to neck, Ephialtes.
The quest requires that you turn in 3 bronze hoplins. Each hoplin will take 2 plates, and each plate is 2 ingots. So I start planning things out so you know how many materials to buy so you aren't wasting too much time shopping back and forth. After completing the items and turning them in, complete your quest. Scan through to see if any upgrades are needed. If not, just take the bag of gil and sell it to a vendor. This quest pushes me over to level 10, so I go right into the next job quest. The level 10 job quest requires us to give 12 sheets of bronze plate. You could quick synth this, but I don't recommend it. I did, however, quick synth the ingots since it needs so many and the XP is a bit lower. The experience for the plates is still worth it to craft as I hit level 11 for making these items. I turn in the required 12 plates and complete the quest. Again, pick the best item, equip it immediately, and update the gear set for armor. This pushed me through to level 12 and I begin finishing on my crafting log for 1 through 5. Moving into log 6 through 10, I quickly take a look at required materials to craft the next 5 or 6 items. I would recommend to quick synth low level stuff, especially if you need large quantities. I end up hitting level 13 through quick synth for the ingots I needed. I keep working through the log and actually hit 14 mid quick synth as well. While working on the 6 to 10 log, I hit level 15 and it's time for another job quest. Return to Hanaza and accept the quest, One's Own Worst Critic. The first step is to speak to Dwistia, who is right around the corner as shown here. After a quick conversation, you are told to speak with Blandstyre. If you head through the double doors at the entrance to the blacksmith/armor area and take a quick left, you'll see him leaning against the wall. Talk to him and he will now ask you to make a decorative bronze bar boot and a bronze buckler. Luckily, we made a bronze bar boot earlier just by doing the log, and we can use that to help us. One important note if you hadn't noticed. Both of these guild suppliers have different items, so make sure to check both of them if you can't find an item. Create the 2 items and go back to Blandstire for the turn-in. After Blandstire puts your items through the ringer, you have to return to Duistia yet again, who will then send you back to the Guildmaster Hanasa to complete the quest. Pick up an upgrade or gil and make sure to equip the best gear you have and save the gear set. This quest pushed me into level 17. I returned to the crafting log and I'm working on log levels 11 through 15 to keep moving forward. I make it to the Decorator Bronze Mitt, which puts me to level 20. Goldsmith focuses on the creation of jewelry, so we will be gaining mostly accessories from this job. To unlock this job, we will go to the Ulda main Aetheryte. Access the Aethernet and teleport directly to the Goldsmith's Guild. Walk right through the hallway to the Goldsmith's banner, and to your right you'll find Jimimi, the guild's receptionist who has our unlock quest. Speak to her twice as they want to make sure you are committed. She will direct you to Serendipity, the guild master who is in the center of the room. With the quest complete, we receive our Goldsmith's weapon. Equip it and make sure to equip the recommended gear set. Don't forget to pull out a job button and place it somewhere you can access it easily. The very first quest asks for a copper ingot. All supplies needed to complete everything for this job can be purchased from the guild supplier Aston. Grab the 3 copper ore needed to craft the copper ingot. We only have 1 button at this level, so just spam basic synthesis till it's complete. After we finish, let's turn it back into Serendipity. The completion of this quest pushes me to level 3, and I will now go down the line and start completing the 1 through 5 Goldsmith crafting log. Again, I recommend shopping for multiple items at once just to reduce the back and forth. I got to level 7 and decided to knock out the level 5 quest. Just head right back to Serendipity. This time she wants 3 copper gorgets. This is very easy, just pick up the 3 leather and make 6 copper ingots and craft it out. You do have access to Basic Touch and Master's Mend, so use them to help you make the maximum quality for extra experience. After completing the level 5 job quest, I'm about halfway through level 9. Hit up the log again till you hit level 10. We go back to Serendipity at level 10 to pick up the next job quest. She'll hand you the quest, throw some rings on it. Serendipity now wants 12 copper rings. Knock them out and turn them in. Again, crafting to the highest quality you can. Serendipity will now send you to speak with Robert, who is just outside the guild hall next to the Aetheryte. Hand him the rings and return to Serendipity to complete this quest. Select any gear upgrades or gil and update your gear set. This has put me almost halfway through level 12, and I proceed to finish up the 6 through 10 log to help me get to level 15. At level 15, Serendipity has another job quest. The job quest is Objectively Speaking. This time she wants you to make a pair of fang earrings and a brass gorget. All the items are easily made right here at the guild. Craft the items to the highest quality and then turn them back into Serendipity. After inspecting your items, she sends you to Robert, who is outside at the Aetheryte again. Hand them in to him and return to Serendipity once more. Pick your prize and ensure you have the best gear saved again. This has now pushed me into level 17, where you should be as well. From here, I just complete items from the log that have not yet been completed, and I take it all the way to level 20. The Weaver focuses on making armor from cloth. This is extremely useful as it makes Crafter and Gatherer armor. To unlock the Weaver, access the Aethernet in Ulda and select the Weaver's Guild. Head down the hallway where you will find Marone, the guild receptionist. After talking to the guild receptionist twice, turn around and speak to the guildmaster, Redolent Rose. After you equip your main hand weapon, a needle, update to your best wearable gear and then accept Redolent's level 1 job quest and put a new job icon where you can find it. This quest is called My First Needle, and he wants a spindle of hempen yarn. We will be using a lot of hempen yarn, so I do recommend just buying quite a bit of Moko grass right off the bat. Complete the yarn and turn it into Redolent Rose. Select your armor or gil and ensure your best gear is on. This has put me at level 3 now, and I simply decide to make hempen yarn until I hit level 5. It's simple to make, and I will need to make lots of it to get to level 20. After hitting level 5, return back to Redolent Rose for a new job quest. This quest is called Once More Unto the Breeches. For this quest, Redolent requires 3 pairs of hempen breeches. Craft the 3 and then turn them into him. After turning it in, select your prize and update your armor. This has now put me at level 8. I return to the log and actually decide to quick synth some yarn for a bit and then move on to the log completion. At level 10, we have a new job quest to do. Head to Redolent Rose again. This quest is called Alternative Applications. He requests 10 bolts of undyed hempen cloth. One thing to note for certain quests, you cannot turn in a mix of high quality and normal items if they are in a single stack. For example, I would have to turn in either 12 normal or 12 high quality, not a mix of the two. So be aware, certain job quests are picky like that. After turning it in, I hit level 11. Again, select your prize, update your gear. I return to the log and continue to finish the level 1 through 5 log. I did do a bit of quick synths for undyed hempen cloth and it pushes me to level 13. I work on the log again till hitting level 15. Head to Redolent Rose for another quest. He hands you the quest Practical Needs, where he instructs you to talk to Wawaruka. Wawaruka is right next to the Miners Guild Aetheryte. After talking with him, you are instructed to give a cotton scarf and a pair of cotton shepherd slops to Rose. After turning them in, the quest is complete. Select your prize, update your gear, and at this point, I hit level 17. I return to the crafting log and complete what is needed, working from the lowest levels first until I hit level 20. Something to remember as we move forward. Some items completed are used to make items further along the log. Don't throw anything away if possible. If you find your inventory filling up, get rid of some of the combat stuff that you made, or you can start to sell some of that on the market board or store in your retainers. To unlock Leatherworker, access the Aethernet in Gridania and head to the Leatherworkers Guild and Shaded Bower. Head across the bridge to a building clearly marked with the Leatherworkers insignia at location 12.5 by 8.2, where we will see Randall the Guild Receptionist. Talk to him twice and then proceed into the main hall where we see Jiva the Guild Master. Like usual, equip the weapon, equip the best gear possible, create a gear set for the job, drag out an icon, and take the first job quest, my first knife head. For this quest, we will only have to turn in one circle of leather. We will be making a lot of this item, so you can make at least 30 if you'd like. After crafting them, I hand them back into Jiva, and this pushes me into level 3. I immediately start making a supply of leather until level 5. Jiva now has the level 5 job quest, a test of technique, in which we must deliver 3 leather chokers. Pick up the required items, 3 leather and 3 sinew, and craft the requested items to maximum possible quality. Turn them into Jiva, who will inspect them. Pick your reward and equip the best possible gear, and then save your updated gear if you have changed anything. The turn-in takes me to level 7, and at that point I begin knocking out the crafting log 1 through 5 for Leatherworker. After hitting level 10, I pick up the job quest Jiva's Gambit from Jiva once again. For this, Jiva is requesting 12 circles of hard leather. Beware, this is a quest where all 12 of the items must be normal quality or high quality. It cannot be a mix of the two. You will most likely use them anyway, so surplus won't hurt you, but just be aware. After completing all 12 items, I turn them into Jiva, where I ended up towards the end of level 14. I return to the log and finish up the last couple of items in log 1 through 5, which pushes me to level 15. Head to Jiva once again and pick up your level 15 quest, Working Hells for Leather. For this quest, Jiva wants a pair of hard leather caligae and a hard leather choker. Pick up the necessary items from Oskia, the supplier, and craft them to maximum quality for extra experience. After turning them in, head out to where the guild supplier is and kneel before Sosobody, the Lala sitting on the bench. Sosobody will then complete your quest and hand you your reward. Equip, update, save. This pushes me to level 16. I return to the log and now start working on the 6 through 10 log. By the time I almost finish log 6 through 10, I'm about halfway through level 18. I finish the 6 through 10 log and start the 11 through 15 log, which pushes me over to level 20. The Carpenter focuses on woodworking, and this will provide certain tools and accessories for us. The beginning quest is in New Gridania, and it's just a few steps from the main Aetheryte at 10.8 by 12.1. Speak to the guild receptionist Corb twice, and then step into the main guild hall area where you will complete the quest with Beaten. Again, equip the Carpenter weapon he gives you, update, create gear set, and make the button for your crafter by dragging it out onto your bars. After that, Beaten will give us our first job quest, My First Saw. For this quest, we need to give him a length of maple lumber. Simply craft it with basic synthesis and hand it back to him when it's complete. Collect your reward again and equip the best gear and save. After completing this quest, I am level 3. In this particular case, I decided to make maple lumber until level 5, as it is used in almost every recipe. At level 5, we will head back to Beaten and get our level 5 job quest, To Be the Wood. For this quest, Beaten wants 3 square maple shields. Purchase the 3 bronze rivets and craft out the shields to maximum quality without failing. After completing all 3, turn them into Beaten and collect your reward. Equip, update, save. This pushes me to level 7, almost level 8, so I return to the crafting log and work towards completion of the 1 through 5 log. By the time I complete the 1 through 5 log, I am level 10 and I'm now ready for the next job quest. Return to Beaten once again and receive the quest, Supplies for the Sick. For this quest, Beaten wants 12 ash lumber. Again, take note that all 12 ash lumber must either be high quality or normal quality. Complete the 12 ash lumber and return to Beaten. Collect reward, equip, update, and save. From here, I simply go through one by one again, working my way through the 6 through 10 log. Upon hitting level 15, get the next quest from Beaten, A Carpenter in Need. From there, return to the guild supplier and speak to Mira Primera sitting in the corner. He wants you to complete a feather harpoon and an ash shortbow. These items will be delivered to 2 different places, one to Uwain at the Lancers Guild and another to Lucian at the Archers Guild. Simply take the Aethernet from the main plaza and avoid extra running or confusion. After handing in the items to both of the guild masters, return to Beaten to complete the quest. Take a reward, equip, update, and save. At this point, I reached level 17 and decide to finish logs 6 through 10. After that, I hit level 18 and start on the 11 through 15 log. So I ran into a bit of issue with this particular job. For some reason, I got far along the log and not all the items are available through the guild supplier for most of the items. I simply decide to spam the Ash Mask Lapis Lazuli to finish level 20. This may occur sometimes throughout your crafting to level 20, which is a prime example of why we must complete the lower logs first. Running around is one of the biggest time sinks. I saved the Alchemist and Culinarian till the end for a couple of reasons. The Alchemist and the Culinarian are the only 2 crafting jobs where not all of the items are available through the guild supplier until level 20. We will work around it, so don't sweat. To unlock the Alchemist, we will access the Aethernet in Ulda and select the Alchemist Guild. Through the double doors adorned with the Alchemist symbol, you will find Dietrich at locations 9 by 13. Speak to Dietrich twice and then complete the quest by turning around and talking to the Guildmaster Severian. Equip, update, save, and drag out a new icon. Talk to Severian again and get our first job quest, My First Albemic. For this quest, Severian wants you to deliver a bottle of distilled water. This is an easy one. Buy some muddy water and craft it out. There is only basic synthesis, so spam away. Turn it in and again, equip, update, and save. After a couple recipes, I hit level 5 and decide to pick up the next job quest from Severian, the second principle. For this one, Severian wants 3 bottles of antidote. Take note that some recipes produce multiples of the product. For example, 1 synthesis of antidote will yield 3 bottles of antidote. After this, I turn it in and I am level 9. I complete the 1 through 5 log and I'm now focusing on the 6 through 10 log until I hit level 10. After hitting level 10, speak to Severian again. This time he will give you all of your beeswax for your level 10 job quest. You must give him 12 beeswax, a very easy recipe, and again, this is a recipe where they must be all high quality or all normal quality. After my turn in, I reach level 14, equip, update, and save. I return to the level 6 through 10 crafting log and hit level 15. This is where you will notice certain recipes do not have all the ingredients available. Simply skip the recipes that don't have the ingredients you need. If you need additional experience, repeat the highest level recipe that has available ingredients. Upon hitting level 15, Severian has the next job quest for us, for Fair Love. This time, Severian wants a potion of intelligence and a potion of dexterity. Luckily, the ingredients are readily available. Craft them up and turn them into Severian. After turning them in, he instructs you to give them to Ardara at the Gladiators Guild. Simply take the Alchemist Aether Crystal to the Gladiators. After giving them to Ardara, she sends you back to Severian to complete the quest. Take your prize, equip, save, and update. This pushes me into level 16. For the 11 through 15 log, you'll notice there is no straw. I skipped roof tile and opted to instead make potion, clove oil, ash pictrates, and growth formula beta. Anything that is available will work, and if you have to repeat a recipe, just try to do the highest level one. I did make a decision to do some of the 21 through 25 log as the ingredients were all there, and this being one of the last 2 crafting jobs I leveled, I have plenty of crafting gear. Jellyfish Humorous was giving great experience to and is used in many recipes, so I did also spam many of those to finish up level 20. To unlock the Culinarian, take the Limsa Aethernet to the Culinarian's Guild. There you will find Charles at 9 by 7. He will give you the unlock quest, Way of the Culinarian. Talk to him twice like usual, and then speak to the Guildmaster Lingsath, who is just up the stairs. After receiving your Culinarian main hand, equip it and the rest of your gear. Create a new gear set and drag out an icon for the job. Lingsath has our first job quest, My First Skillet. We will need to make a pot of maple syrup. Just pick up some maple sap from the guild supplier and craft it. Again, only basic synthesis is available at this level, so just spam it. Hand it in and complete the quest. Equip, update, save. Culinarian, like Alchemist, suffers from not having all of its items available at the guild supplier. Right away, looking at the 1 through 5 log, there are already some recipes that don't have available ingredients. The missing items are fish related and can be bought within the same zone. The fishmonger can be found at 10.2 by 13.4 in Limsa Upper Decks if you are interested in doing those recipes. After hitting level 5, head back to Lingsath and receive your next quest, A Treat of Trout. You will need to see the fishmonger in order to complete this quest. While you are at the fishmonger, open up your crafting log and buy everything you will need for future recipes so you don't have to return back here. After making a grilled trout for the quest, give it to Ingham, who is also in the Culinarian's Guild right next to the supplier. After a quick inspection, select your reward, equip, update, and save. Hit the log until level 10, where we will get our next job quest from Lingsath, Dodo it yourself. Lingsath wants you to craft 2 grilled dodo. It will yield 3, so you only need to craft it once since we will only need to turn in 2 to Ingham. Turn them into Ingham, select your reward, equip, update, and save. At this point I am level 11 and return to the log to complete what I can. After visiting the fishmonger, I am now able to complete a good portion of the 6 through 10 log. At level 15, return to Lingsath for another job quest. Lingsath instructs you to immediately speak to Ingham. Ingham instructs you to head right outside and talk to Matey Maga, who wants 1 meat kebab. Funny fact, in Final Fantasy XI, the Mikotes are called Mithras, so we call them myth kebabs. Anyway, after an easy craft, all ingredients are available at the supplier for this, head back to Matey Maga. After an inspection, you will go to Lingsath to complete the quest. Equip, update, save. This puts me at level 16. I completed as much of the log as I can without running around everywhere and decided to produce meat kebabs. I literally just repeated meat kebabs to level 20 from that point, as it was the highest level item I could craft. There is always the option to shop around and do more with the log, but time-wise I feel like this is probably even faster, and the primary focus of this guide is ease. Chapters 11 through 13 will cover exactly how to level your gatherers from levels 1 through 20. To unlock Miner, we go to Ulda and access the Aethernet. Select Miner's Guild and it's right there at location 11 by 14. You'll speak to Lynette, the guild receptionist. Make sure to speak to her twice. After accepting the quest, turn around and talk to Aldeberta, the guildmaster, to complete it. Look in your inventory or armory and equip the pickaxe given to you. Make sure to equip your best possible gear at this point. Let's go ahead and start our first job quest. Like all other jobs, I recommend equipping the best gear available. Our first job quest is called My First Pickaxe. We need to deliver 10 chunks of copper ore. Pay attention for just a moment. To access the Gather's log, you will need to hit B as in Bravo, or go through the logs menu. You will see that there are 4 icons. 2 are for mining and quarrying, and 2 are for logging and harvesting. Don't let this throw you off, just know that there are 2 logs for miner and 2 logs for botanist. In this example, we can see that under the mining log, there are 2 places you can go to mine copper ore. Either is fine, but just know that we have options in this particular case. I chose Spineless Basin because I noticed that there are multiple items that we need that will be available there, and I wanted to hit as many birds with 1 stone as possible. Just like the crafting log, we get an experience bonus for first time gathering a new item. Go ahead and head out to the location. When you find a mineral deposit, go ahead and right click it. You will see a little symbol by items that have never been gathered before. It's that little white bag looking icon next to the item portrait. You will see that once the item is gathered, it disappears. A helpful recommendation that I didn't really think about till halfway through this process is gather at least 10 of every item you come across. You can obviously look up what items are needed for future job quests, but this guide has a minor focus in not using any outside sources. So gathering 10 of everything will yield a good amount of experience and will also help ensure you don't have to come back out for 1 item for a job quest. I want to talk about an option we see available here called Enable Quick Gathering. Quick gathering just means whatever item you choose to gather, it'll gather them non-stop until the node disappears. It's useful when you know you just want to gather one thing, so you won't have to click it over and over again. This is a good opportunity to talk about the abilities, traits, and gathering role abilities. Let's take a look at the actions. Sharp Vision is obtained at level 4 at the cost of 50 gathering points, and will increase your odds of successfully gathering by 5%, and it doesn't help at all if the gathering item is so high above you that you have a 0% chance at it. Sharp Vision 2 at level 5 does the same thing, except it gives you a 15% chance for 100 GP, and Sharp Vision 3 gives you 50% for 250. Sneak is obtained at level 8 and just allows you to gather without being attacked. This makes you invisible to creatures up to 4 levels above you. As a note, feel free to use Sharp Vision as needed. Missed swings waste time, and time is precious. At level 15, Mountaineer's Gift increases Gatherer's Boon by 10% for 50 GP. Let me explain Boon. Boon is just a chance to gather extra items on a swing. That's it. So instead of the 1 you might have normally got, if you trigger the boon, it'll give you 2. Pretty simple. Now let's take a look at the role abilities. At level 1, we receive Prospect. Prospect simply allows you to see rocky outcrops or nodes. This is more or less always active and doesn't need to be worried about. It can be toggled on or off, so ensure it's always on. Lay of the Land, when activated, will locate the nearest mineral deposit or rocky outcrop. Prospect must be on for this to work. In essence, all this does is show on your minimap which way to go to find the nearest node. At level 5, we get Lay of the Land 2, and it will point you to the highest level node within your skill range. There are often points where you need to find the higher level node in an area, and that's when you'll use this skill. Now let's go over traits. The traits aren't game breaking by any means. At level 2 you get Auto Prospect. It just turns on Prospect when you switch to Miner each time. Stone Whisperer 1 and 2 just help you find bonuses in nodes if conditions are met. What they mean by this is sometimes you can get an extra item per swing, or a bonus to boon, or a bonus to chance of gathering if you have enough perception rating, gathering rating, or GP. For this level 1 through 20 guide, it isn't important, but later on it will matter more. In case you forgot what we were doing, we just gathered our 10 copper ore and will now turn it into our job quest. I typically want to ensure I hit at least level 5 or 10 or 15 before returning to town so I can grab the next quest without having to go back and forth. Head back to the Miners Guild and hand the ore into Alberta. After inspection, collect your reward, equip, update, and save. I happen to be level 5 and grab the next quest while there. This time she wants 10 bone chips. You can see exactly how dumb of me it was to not have just harvested the 10 while I was there. Either way, grab the 10 bone chips, and I also would not return back to town until you've hit level 10 or are very close to level 10. Work through the log till you hit that point. As a side note, your quarry log doesn't open until level 10, so don't worry about it quite yet. Being very close to level 10, I decided to turn in my level 5 quest. I hand in the bone chips to Alberta and collect my reward. Equip, update, and save your new gear. I hit level 10 and Alberta has a new job quest for me. Quarrying also has opened up, so I have a second log I can work with to help me level now. For this quest, we need 10 chunks of obsidian, which can be found in Hammerlea, which is in western Thanalin. Ensure you have your sledgehammer equipped. It was given as a reward and will be needed to do any quarrying. A very important note to remember, the yellow icons are mining and the blue will be quarrying. After I gather the 10 ore, I decide to hold off until 15 and return to the mining and quarrying logs. There is nothing in the quarry log from 6 through 10, this is not an error, so don't worry. After being on the edge of 15, I head back to Ulda to turn in my obsidian. Head to Alberta and hand in the ore. After inspection, select your reward, equip, update, and save. I went ahead and grabbed the next quest. For this one, Aldeberta sends you to speak with Deep Canyon, who is just outside the guild. For this quest, Deep Canyon wants 10 cinnabar. If you take my advice and gather 10 of each item you came across, you will have it. If not, here's the information now. After that, Deep Canyon sends you right back to Aldeberta, where they could literally shout to each other, but okay. You get sent back to Deep Canyon yet again, who will complete the quest for you. Select your reward, equip, update, and save. With the job quest out of the way, you will simply knock out your gathering log. Ensure you get the lowest level ones done and work your way up. There isn't much else to explain here. If for some reason you are still not 20 and have done everything in the log within reach, you can always grind out some of the previously gathered items. I would just go for the highest level ones you are comfortable farming so you can get more experience per swing. If for some reason you skipped right to here, I encourage you to watch the mining section of the guide, as it covers a lot of basics of gathering that will not be repeated here in Botanist. If you already know the basics of gathering, then you'll probably be just fine. Let's start with unlocking the job. To unlock Botanist, we will head to Gridania. Take the Aethernet to the Botanist Guild at 6x8. There you'll speak to Leon Cult, the guild receptionist. Talk to him twice and then step outside to complete the quest with the guild master, Fufu Cha. Fufu Cha will hand you your level 1 botany axe. Equip it to become a botanist. Make sure to also equip the best gear possible. Save the gear set and make an icon to easily change back to botanist. For the first quest, Fufu Cha wants us to gather 10 pots of latex. Again, we can access the gatherer's log by pushing B's and Bravo. At this level, we only have the logger's guide and no access to harvesting, so let's just focus on logging for right now. Go ahead and head to the location shown on your map from the gathering log and get the 10 latex. Like previously mentioned, get all the items needed to help complete your log and gather 10 of each item to help you level and ensure you will have the necessary items for the next botany job quest. After gathering all of the latex, I have already hit level 5 and decide to head back for the next job quest. After returning to the Botanist Guild, I hand in the 10 latex to Fufu Cha. After a quick inspection, pick your reward, equip, update, and save. Fufu Cha now has my level 5 job quest available. For this quest, Sap for Smiles, we will need to deliver 10 pots of maple sap. By checking the log, we can see it's at Tree Speak. Head there and gather up the 10 needed. Like an idiot, I did go back to the guild and hand over the sap without hitting level 10 first, so I will be going back again. Regardless, when you finish the quest Sap for Smiles, turn it in and ensure you equip, update, and save your gear. I head back to the field and hit the log until level 10, where I head back for the next job quest. Upon hitting level 10, I head to Fufu Cha again and receive a new job quest, Weapons of a Feather. For this quest, we will need to gather 10 crow feathers, which can be found in Green Tier and Central Shroud. An important note, since we are level 10, we can now also harvest. Use both the logging and harvesting log to help you get to level 15, and again, try to get 10 of every item you come across. This may be a good time to discuss job abilities, gather abilities, and traits for the botanist. Let's go over the actions first. Level 4, you will receive Field Mastery, which is the exact same as Sharp Vision for miners. It will just increase your chances of successfully gathering an item by 5%. Field Master 2 will increase it by 10%, and 3 by 15%. Pioneer's Gift 1 is the same as Mountaineer's Gift 1 in that it will grant a 10% chance for you to trigger Gatherer's Boon effect. Sneak works the exact same way as well, avoiding detection from monsters 4 levels above you and below. Gatherer's roll abilities are the exact same. The only differences are the names, so instead of Prospect there is Triangulate. Instead of Lay of the Land 1 and 2, there is Arbor Call 1 and 2. These again are used just to show you where the nodes are on the minimap. The traits also mirror in that Auto Triangulate is the same as Auto Prospect, and Tree Whisper 1 and 2 also helps determine bonuses in nodes. After continuing to work on the log and hitting level 15, we return to Fufu Cha once again. Fufu Cha will give us the quest, Haste Makes Waste. We need to speak to Albgast at the Ebony Stalls. For this, head to the nearest Aetheryte and teleport to the Leatherworker's Guild to get there quickly. After arriving, head a little to the east to the shopping area and you will see Albgast there. After speaking with him, we find out that we will need to gather 10 sprigs of Majorum. Luckily, I already gathered 10 and turned them right back into him. After that, we are told to head back to Fufu Cha to complete this quest. Select your reward, equip, update, and save. From here, we will continue to flesh out the remaining logging and harvesting logs. There is one important element to gathering that does come up even at these levels, and that's hidden items. Hidden items simply refers to items that won't show up every time you go to the correct node. It is considered more rare, and you may only see it once out of every 5 nodes or so, but it can be more or less. At this point, I found Sun Lemons to be a good source of experience, as it was one of the highest level items I could gather easily and didn't have to hunt around too much. It is recommended you complete the log, but grinding out a specific item also works depending on your situation. I went back to the log around level 19 and easily hit level 20. Fishing is a whole nother can of worms. It's very different from botany and miner and doesn't require you to understand either of those two jobs. Fishing is still a simple job, so let's get started. To unlock fishing, go to the Fishing Guild in Limsa by taking the Aethernet to the Fishing Guild at location 7x14. We will receive the job quest Way of the Fisher after talking to the guild receptionist Milika twice. After that, you need to speak with Sisipu, who I suppose is the guild master. Equip your fishing pole and ensure you put on your best possible gathering gear. Save a gear set, and I'd also drag out a job icon so you can easily change to fishing. As a fisher, CC Poo will now give you your first job quest, my first fishing rod. For your first job quest, you need to get 5 lemons and anchovies. So let's go over how this works. To fish, you need to be near a body of water. Almost any body will work, but in this case, head to the docks right outside the Fisherman's Guild. Now I feel is the appropriate time to cover actions, gather role abilities, and traits for fisher. So the first one is bait. You have a tackle button and it looks like a little tackle box. This is how we fix our bait to fish with. Different baits and different locations determine what fish you can bring in. We were given lugworms by completing the job unlock quest, and that is the bait we will use. After clicking the bait button, you can pick a type of bait, so with only one choice, select the lugworm. Until we change the bait or run out of the bait, it will use lugworms to try to catch fish with that. Our next action is cast. Cast simply casts the line and begins fishing. Nothing much to explain here yet, it just casts our line so we can start the fishing process. Next is hook. You will see that your line is being tugged and is often met with a exclamation, double exclamation, or triple exclamation mark. For now, once you get a tug, you have a small window to hook it or you will lose the fish. Hit the hook button and it will bring in the fish on the line, or it will also have a chance to fail and you will bring back nothing. Another ability at level 1 is quit. Quit simply quits the fishing process and you save your bait. Level 1 also gives you cast light. It's just a glowing light that attaches to your pole so you can see it move easier when you get a bite. You don't have to turn it on, but if it helps, use it. Level 5, you will get chum. For 100 gathering points, you can reduce the amount of time for the next fish to bite. This is extremely useful as it just speeds you up. We will use this ability often in early levels. At level 8, we get Sneak, which works the same as Botany and Mining. Sneak allows you to be invisible to monsters 4 levels above you and below. I will cover the level 15 abilities when we get there. So back to where we were, I managed to hit level 5 by the time I catch my 5 fish. I turn right back around and hand them into CC Poo. Select your reward, equip, update, and save. I accept the job quest, bigger fish to fry, but our strategy will be a little bit different here to hit level 20. We will use ocean fishing to get us to level 20. The quest unlocks right next to CC Poo. Talk to Philsno, who gives you the quest All the Fish in the Sea. You will simply need to take the 8th rite and teleport to the Alchemist Guild. From there, head through the mini gates to the docks where you will find Zaggle. Zaggle completes the quest for you, and after a small cutscene, you can now ocean fish. But as you'll see, with one round of ocean fishing, we go from levels 8 to 20 with ease. When available, queue up for ocean fishing. In preparation, I pick up an ample amount of each bait to ensure I'm prepared for the trip. I arrive a little early for the departure and decide to go ahead and fish while waiting. This pushes me over to level 8. Equipping the versatile lure allows you to catch harbor herring right here, and I decide to turn in my job quest before heading out to sea. I pick up my reward, equip, update, and save. Now that I am most of the way through level 8, it's time to go ahead and board the boat. I asked the fellow fishers what bait we will need to use on this particular voyage. Ocean fishing has different fishing paths, so sometimes different baits are needed. I don't like using any outside guides for this, but I will put a link in the description to help if for some reason no one will give you a quick answer. While on the boat, try to utilize your time as best as possible. Always be casting applies in combat as well as fishing. Right now you can see there is an aurora effect. It's what they call the spectral current. This is a special weather effect that grants point bonuses. The spectral current also ensures most all fish are on a short catch timer, and even your reel animations are quicker. It's important to note that the points at the end of the ocean fishing are tallied and do apply extra experience at the end of the route. The experience is so fast that it's hard to keep up with changing my gear. For this reason as well, I would do Fisher after completing the other 2 gatherers, just to ensure you have gathering gear to change into so you can perform as best as possible while on the boat. Do your best to catch as many as possible. Without a doubt, sometime during the voyage, you will hit level 15. Let's take a moment to talk about those abilities you just gained. Patience increases the chance of landing a large-sized fish by 50% while reducing the hook efficiency by 40%. This basically means you have a chance for double experience, but there is a 40% increased chance it'll get away. Powerful hook set negates the inefficient hooking status given by patience, and has no effect on certain fish with a weak bite. So more or less, use this on fish with a double exclamation or triple exclamation mark. Precision hook set is the same as powerful, except when there is only one exclamation or none, then you can use precision hook set to pair with patience. As an important note, there are several fish in ocean fishing that specifically all use precision hook set even though they are a triple exclamation mark. Thaliac's Favor will store 150 GP after you store up 3 Angler's Arts. Those are gained by using various abilities. This is useful to help keep your GP up. By the time we reached the 3rd section of the voyage, I was already level 17. When all was said and done with the fishing voyage, I was level 22. I mean, you could literally do 1 through 20 in one trip without a doubt, especially if you know what to do. You will naturally return back and complete the fishing job quest. Being a much higher level than your quest, this should make it even easier to complete. One thing I did want to mention is there is a fishing log and it's accessible by hitting Y. It's great for helping keep track of fishing spots you've discovered, but it doesn't give any information on where new spots are, what baits to use, or what fish are there until you've already found them. Congratulations, you made it off the streets and you're on your way to becoming the fattest cat in your alley. If you made it this far, you're already doing better than most. Much time and care was taken to ensure you can quickly, efficiently, and most importantly, easily get your crafters and gatherers to level 20. Based on the feedback I receive, I will make more guides, so by all means, please let me know what you guys need. I hope you guys found this guide helpful, and if you would like to see more content like this, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you all next time.